For today's cup of coffee, we have odd barometric pressure. And we've been having rain and storms and everything that comes with that. And it's like, it makes you feel kind of wonky.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just me. I think it's a sinus issue. It's always a sinus issue with us somehow. And Kid was like, why do you have a loaf of bread as the backdrop today? It will be revealed.
I don't get it.
It does. It goes with the theme. I wanted Newton's Cradle. We've had more than one over the years. Couldn't find it. So it's a matter of, okay, what do I do? What do I do? And it's like, that's what I'll do. It will soon be as clear as mud. Trust me.
Clear as mud, that's not clear.
And what we have today is from, the source is called Open College.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, it had some kind of disclaimer or whatever on it. Look, I'm using this for educational purposes only, discussion purposes. I'm actually sending out their website so that other people know that they exist. And I'm like, other than that, shut the fuck up. Because right now, nobody else... if I had not typed in this specific thing, nobody would have known about these people.
Okay.
So they're getting free advertising. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody's giving away your secrets, dude. You've got it on the internet. I mean, really. And what we're going to be discussing, pardon my sinus-related things... Law of cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
So these are universal laws.
Yeah.
That people don't want to acknowledge. Of course, people are denying gravity right now.
That's true.
Yeah. So.
Who's outside?
That's Hilo outside. So I will talk with y'all while he's doing that and the coffee slurps. Now, some of this goes into different forms of thought. It's all different forms of thought. All of it is a matter of philosophy. Some of it goes into religion. It's not a bad thing to look at different points of view, ever.
No. That's not a bad idea.
Now, with the law of cause and effect, simply stated, all actions have reactions that will return to the source.
Mm-hmm.
And that source can vary. It doesn't necessarily mean God. It can also be you as far as the source of the thought or action.
Right.
This goes back to personal responsibility and accountability, which, my God, nobody wants to recognize that right now.
No, they don't.
So within this, they have got different points. The law of cause and effect is a universal law which specifically states that every single action in the universe produces a reaction no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It says every single effect within our world upon our earth has a cause and original starting point. And we can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
All paths have an original first step, and from that first step comes a chain reaction of events with further offshoots spanning out in all directions, and so on. Duplication and replication takes place. Think of this, and there's so many ways that this can be seen. It's sort of like monkey see, monkey do on that one.
Yeah.
One person does it, then another person does it. That's like we were talking earlier about the band T-shirt.
Uh-huh.
Dave Mustaine of
where you wear don't wear merch that you don't know where it's
exactly.
from.
Because Dave Mustaine was actually walking through some country, and young kid, well, I don't know how old she was, must have been a teen or something, had Megadeth, memorabilia on her clothing. And he's like, hey, that's my band. And she didn't even know who the hell he was, didn't even know who Megadeth was, and just she was wearing it.
Some people just like the fact that it's a cool looking tea, and so they wear it. But the thing is,
the reason that she was wearing it was because, like, Kim Kardashian or some of these people, she had seen them wearing it.
That's a stupid reason. That is a stupid
Absolutely.
reason.
It doesn't say, it just says that it happens. It doesn't say the thought behind it necessarily, although the thought behind it does take part in it. So, again, with the monkey see, monkey do. All your thoughts and your human behavior and all your movements affect the entire universe according to the law of cause and effect. And this goes back to everything is frequency and vibration.
Mm-hmm.
That's the butterfly effect, where butterfly on the opposite side of the earth flapping its wings could eventually cause a hurricane.
Right.
Yeah. It's just ponderings.
Yeah.
Every single item within the universe is relative and nothing is separate. Therefore, if you move your hand, you are moving this space which surrounds it, and that space is connected to all space within the infinite universe.
Okay.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But you got to realize it's like
It's
like ripples.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're near the source of, like, if a stone is thrown into the water, the ripples are going to be more visible. And it's like they sort of lessen as they spread out. Right. So is other movement and things like that.
Yeah.
You're looking at me with a blank look.
Listen, I'm just listening.
I figured you would have lots more input on this. Therefore, all inanimate objects of the universe are all connected within the same space and occupy the exact same space or mind. There is no separation, and so if you move your hand, you're moving the space which is connected to all things. Although for some people, this may take getting your head around the concept or idea. Yeah. It is, however, true. This is a truth. Could be a truth.
Right.
For this person to sit there and go, this is true. Just, I question that.
Okay.
I question it. This is a proposal.
Yes.
This could be.
It's a thing.
Everything that exists within the universe has always existed in one form or another, or in other words, in its chemical or microscopic form, and all things arise from this. See, I disagree with that, because spirit, if you get into the realm of spirit, that does not have measurable substance in a way that can be measured at this point in time.
Right. Okay.
Yes, I will argue the philosophies with people. Human thought creates a movement, no matter how minute it is, unless you are deliberately staying still, but even then, movement will follow. Now, this is one of those I wish
to say.
Well, it's like thought does produce a frequency. That actually is measurable.
Yeah.
So, and there are some peoples that have been saying this for a very long time. And recently they have started to where they can measure, like, the thought waves and different things like that, even as far as the heart, the energy, the magnetic field surrounding the heart, and how that can, like, definitely projects outside of the body.
Yeah.
So, cool stuff on that. All thoughts lead to movements or human behavior, and all movement and behavior leads to further thoughts. See, I disagree with that, because you can think a thing, but you don't have to act on that thing. That was one of the things that I did, was to teach people you don't have to sit and dwell on each and every thought that floats through your mind, especially if it's a negative one. I've tried to teach you that too.
Yeah, you have.
A movement or an action cannot take place without its original thought and its preceding thought. Any movement is the result of a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Whose thought?
It's literally just saying the same thing over and over again.
Sort of in slightly. It's, philosophy. They do that. they do that. It's like those psychological tests. They will ask you the same question in a slightly different way over and over.
To get the same answer. To see if you get the same answer
Yeah.
or not. It's like science. Or how
Yes
science
and no,
should
but
be.
well, the way the brain works is different if somebody has got different disorders. Coffee slurp.
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as where does thought originate?
Well, scientifically it says it's the brain, but it comes from spirit.
And a lot of times it does, and a lot of times it can come from external forces. That is not, the human thinks that it is their own thought, but it is not necessarily their own thought.
Yeah.
There's been a lot, there's military technology that can do that right now. So this is not an absolute. It says we are all governed by a chain reaction of events from a cause. We are all subject to the universal law of cause and effect, or effect and cause.
What does this have to do with the love of bread?
I'm getting there. The suspense is killing him. Once you set off movement or behavior into the world, it will have a continuing ripple, and it will keep traveling and having a knockoff effect way beyond your awareness and beyond your understanding of such a thing.
Okay.
This is why I always think for yourself. Never go, I don't care if it's a guru or whatever it is. Think for yourself, and it's like, does this make sense, or does this, smack of bullshit?
Yeah.
All right. It is also said in metaphysics. Really, it is also said in metaphysics that all ripples that transfer outwards will have to return back to the source being you or the human that created it in any lifetime. So we're going into the reincarnation. Now we'll discuss the reincarnation briefly here then, my thoughts on it, because I did believe that for a long time. Well, according to the universal law of cause and effect, there is nothing that happens by random chance, nothing whatsoever. So they're adamant about it. All output or actions have consequences, and these consequences are either good or bad and may cause positive or negative influence or effect on yourself or others. Hence the saying, we reap what we sow. Do I believe that our actions and thoughts and stuff like that affect ourselves and
They sure
others?
as hell do.
Sure they do. According to our cosmic law of cause and effect, there is an equal and opposite reaction for every action as
Even
the
if
result of
it's-
thoughts or that action derived from. That goes back to the Newton's cradle.
Even if someone doesn't show even if it doesn't show your actions or words have consequences, it still does. It still affects
Absolutely.
whatever, whoever.
Even if it's not apparent in that moment. Now, there are some people you can say things to them and it doesn't faze them. I mean, seriously, it has no reaction. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have a reaction on the one that spoke them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, as far as speaking blessings or curses, curses does not mean saying 4-letter words. Curses are, telling someone that they're worthless or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that they are basically immune to that. I think that's a level that a lot of us are trying to get to, that immunity. But will there be a consequence on the person that spoke that? Absolutely. At some point, there will be. All right. And let's see. I've lost my thing on that. We got this about the all human thoughts lead to words and expressions, right? Mm-hmm. Are you totally lost?
No.
And this includes whether you believe in religion or not, or believe in a God or not. I know why they didn't want this shared. I truly do.
Why didn't they want this shared? They said that
Because-
they didn't want this shared?
Yeah, it's got it on the website. I mean, anybody can go in there and look at that, and I don't think that it gave who wrote this. So anyhow, because they didn't want to be someone to truly come in there and say, okay, explain this to me. This is illogical. How does this really work?
Yeah.
Does this make sense to you? That's true of a lot of false teachings. Let's just call it what it is. because some of this makes sense, some of it does not. But if it's somebody that they're sincere in their beliefs, if you question them, they're not going to get upset. They're going to sit there and go, okay, you know what, you're right. You got a good point on that. I need to do more research on that. If you approach somebody and you question their belief system and they go out of hell, then that means that they're not confident that they know what they believe either. Rule of thumb.
Yeah.
We've experienced that lots. Mm-hmm. It says if you drop a bouncing ball, you will see the law of cause and effect take place right before your eyes. Well, to a degree, yeah, we can see that as far as gravity and inertia and all that good stuff. There are many unseen chains or effects which resonate within this entire realm, and this may travel further to more subtle realms of existence or finer ones. It's all frequency and vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Everything affects everything else.
Yes.
It says it is also said in many Eastern or philosophical practices such as Buddhism or Hinduism that you as the being that generated or sent out the action into the universe will receive its consequences or its effect in one form or another, and that you will never be able to escape the effect of your actions in time.
Damn.
Our belief in our belief system, there is an escape, and it's called forgiveness. Just asking for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
It says, therefore, it is specifically the intention that lies behind the action that is of the greatest concern. If you are considered a good person and you inadvertently or accidentally caused an unintentional action which causes suffering and harm or death to another, then this is not going to be consequential for you as consequential for you as it would had you been deliberately causing the same action. Well, yeah, that's the difference between, homicide versus first-degree murder.
Yeah.
It is the intention behind the action that matters, otherwise known as karma. That's an odd sentence structure, isn't it?
It is.
It says, all causes will have an effect on everything and everything within the universe, which will then lead to further causes of other things, and so the replication or chain reaction of events continues infinitely. That's a what the fuck? Okay. That is a what the fuck sentence.
I don't know what...
There's nothing... if you're sitting there going, all right, I understand you've got an idea, but if you cannot relay that idea in a way that others...
Can you put that in a cohesive way, please?
In a way that others can understand, then your idea is...
moot.
Yeah. Well, it's a personal idea. It can't be shared. I think that's the problem here. According to this law, there is no such thing as luck. There is only action returning to its source in the form of an effect. If this is of any concern to you, then the best course of action is to generate good, simple actions, behaviors, and thoughts which will create good fruit and sow further good seeds for the future.
Loves it.
Now, within this could be said much more simply. It is a matter of cause and effect. And the realm of spirit very much does go into play with this. Within our belief system, it was a matter of, they say Eve, the mother of all, being tempted into doing something that God, the Creator, had told her not to do. Mm-hmm. And this was an enemy that was against God and that was actually attacking God, but doing so through His creation. And the whole thing was, don't eat this or you will die.
Yeah.
And the enemy had said, you won't die. But this was a half truth. So Eve fell for it, ate whatever it was. She found out she didn't fall down dead because in her mind it was just physical death. So what did she do? She gave it to the other one, to the husband, to eat. what she wasn't told was that there would be spiritual death, which is a separation from the Creator. So you got to worry about some of these half-truths and just out-and-out lies on some of this.
Yeah.
But as far as cause and effect, within our belief system, and I'm just going to throw a few of these out there, there's actually quite a few of them in Scripture. Ecclesiastes 11:1, because the 11s and 22s, y'all thought we was joking about that. No. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. The bread.
That's a stupid. That is a
I didn't say it was brilliant. It was one of those I had to do something. I was trying to be clever. But that is one of the things. It's like that is sort of in that, cause and effect type thing.
I hope you know I was kidding.
I know. I thought it was, like I said, it was one of those. I'm like, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? And that means that if we do good for someone or to someone, it may seem like there's no reward. And that are people saying, oh, well, doing good is reward in and of itself. Yes. But there are universal principles within that. But, that doesn't mean it's an immediate reward. So that's what they're saying, But I tell you something, if you cast out their nasty, moldy bread, you're going to get sludge back.
Not if you cast it out to the animals. They eat that shit up.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
That's wrong.
Spiritual principles. Spiritual principles. All right. Then we got Galatians 6:7-9.
They eat shit out the garbage.
Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. For he who sows to the flesh will also to the flesh reap corruption. And that means people that live just for this earth and the things of this earth, and they don't have any, as far as the spirit, this is all they're going to have.
Right.
A short, in the span of eternity, even if somebody lives 80, 90, 100 years, and that's it, it says, but he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. And it says, let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart.
Loves it.
And in this day and time, when you've got a lot of people that's ungrateful, and you've got people that are hurting, and they that type of hurt is going to everybody around them. Yeah. That means you still be kind. Romans 12:17-21. Repay no one evil for evil. It says, have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it's possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. I have to remind myself of that one lots.
Yeah, same.
Because God sees what we don't. It says, therefore, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he's thirsty, give him drink. For in so doing, you will heap...
I was doing so good. I was doing so good.
Because he's on this vape. For in so doing, you will heap coals of fire on his head. And this is, again, a spiritual principle. Because if somebody does something really heinous to you, and instead of retaliating, you show them kindness, then that is a matter of them having guilt, unless they have a seared conscience.
Yeah.
And they can no longer feel, guilt and stuff. We've got those people amongst us right now. It says, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Now, these are universal principles. These are tried and true.
Yeah.
Philippians 4:8. All right, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable. If there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Control your thoughts. Don't allow your thoughts to control you.
Yes.
So, interesting. principles to ponder. But does it everything? It's a matter of personal responsibility and personal accountability. What you do matters. What you think matters. What you say matters. Your presence on this planet matters.
Yes.
It's what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have encouraged people to go out and have a tasty sandwich.
Don't get the sourdough. That shit's nasty.
I love sourdough. That soft rye is great. Yeah. So, and share your bread with other people. So we have shared our bread with you all. So interesting things to ponder, things that other people believe. Let us share with us what you believe.
Yeah.
If this open source class or whatever, and if that was a teacher, I'm like, it was free, but I'd almost ask for my money back on that one.
Yeah.
So if you have, Clay is over here.
I want my ticket from life back. I want my money back.
He has this just confused, blank expression. He's like, what the hell is she talking about? It's okay. It really is okay. If you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, interesting philosophies, interesting people that are trying to get you to their way of thinking but are not articulating it in a way that anybody can understand what they're saying. If you've got local, regional, or family myths or legends, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And the link to this writing and the email address will be in the description box.
Yes.
Know that you are loved.
Mm-hmm.
Know that we appreciate each and every one that takes the time to share coffee with us, to ponder with us, to laugh with us.
Yes.
If you need to cuss at us, that's okay too. You can do that. We'll let you vent on us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yes. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all. Have a good. See you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next cup. Bye.
Bye.